In this video, I'm making fresh grape juice and grape juice popsicles using an abundance of grapes I picked right off the vine. Here is the grapevine that I will be harvesting the grapes from. This vine is over 5 years old and it produces an amazing amount of grapes. The grape variety is called Thomcord, which is a hybrid variety between Thompson and Concord grapes. Let me tell you, the juice from these grapes is so incredibly sweet. They are truly nature's candy and no additional sugar is needed. Here is one big bowl of grapes from my harvest. I was curious, so I brought out my food scale to see how many pounds of grapes from my harvest fit in just this one bowl. Alright, so I have almost 4.5 pounds of grapes, minus the weight of the bowl that I'm going to be turning into fresh grape juice. First, I washed all of the grapes, and now I'm going to remove each grape from the main stem. These grapes are so nice and ripe. They come off the main stem pretty easily. I'm speeding you up through this process because there were so many individual grapes and the process took about 15 minutes, but I just put on a podcast and the time flew by. Now look at all these beautiful grapes. Wow. Fresh organic grapes from our local market can go for up to $5 a pound, so this is over $20 worth of grapes just in this bowl. If you know me, you know I like sensory things, and gently running your fingers through a bowl of berries or grapes is very satisfying. It's almost like when you're a kid and you have a big bowl of marbles or jelly beans that you just love playing with. This is the adult version of that. Okay, now it's time to put these grapes to good use in my juicer. Juicing is easy. I'm just adding the grapes to the top of the juicing cylinder and then letting the juicer do all the work for me. You can see how the juice cup fills all the way up. Now that my juice cup is almost completely filled to the top, I'm going to empty this into a big bowl and start the process over. From the remaining grapes in my bowl, the juice cup was filled up again about 3/4 of the way full. Here is the pretty pink juice. You can see it's a raspberry pink or like a mauve color, which is interesting because the color of the grape skins is such a dark purple. We got about 32 ounces of fresh grape juice from my first round of juicing, and it looks like I have another 20 ounces or so from the second round, so that's about 52 ounces total. With all this juice, I'll have to make grape jelly or another grape recipe soon. If you have a favorite grape recipe, please comment below and let me know. I'm always on the hunt for new recipes. Okay, here is all of the grape skins and sediment and pulp that the juicer extracted and filtered out. Just for comparison, it's interesting to see how different in color the juice is from the skin of the grapes like I mentioned. Each grape variety has a different colored juice, which is always fun to see. My next step is to filter out any extra sediment that exists in the juice. I'm using this cheesecloth and I'm going to go ahead and pour the juice all over the bowl on the left that has the cheesecloth on top of it. I was trying to film this with one hand and as I was pouring it wasn't very easy, so I went ahead, I set the camera down for a second and then poured the rest of the mixture over the cheesecloth bowl. Once all of the juice was completely poured into the cheesecloth bowl, here is the remaining sediment and some juice that remains in the cheesecloth. I went ahead and I squeezed it out to extract any last bit of juice that I could. Here is my juice after it's been completely filtered through the cheesecloth. And here is the cheesecloth with a lot of sediment and grape skin particles that I don't really want in my juice. To prevent the formation of crystals in the juice, I'm going to go ahead and put the juice in a sealed airtight container or two and pop it in the fridge overnight. Here is the juice the next morning. It seems to have more of a deep red, maroon, cranberry color, but I'm going to show you something interesting in a second with a spoon. Let me also turn on the light just so you can see. The juice on the surface of this container is crystal clear. It looks pure, there's no sediment. You can see on the spoon how it's beautiful. It's almost like a syrup. But when I move my spoon to the bottom of the container, it picks up some sediment, the juice becomes a little bit more cloudy, and you can see overall there's some separation. This is totally normal, and it's just the result of the juice settling a bit overnight. Just going to go ahead and stir the juice so everything is mixed together. Sometimes I like to get lost in this motion. It's very calming and relaxing to me to do a repetitive task like this, especially in baking or cooking. I like to use it as a moment of peace in an otherwise hectic day filled with lots of to-do lists and other responsibilities. All right, back to reality and on to the next step in this process. After the juice was thoroughly mixed, I went ahead and poured it into 6 popsicle molds and froze them in our freezer overnight. I took the popsicles out of the freezer the next morning. You could see we've already enjoyed 2 in our house before I had a chance to film this video, but here's one I can show you. So when you open the popsicle mold, you see how beautiful this color of grape juice froze. And I wish you could taste this. Oh, this is no exaggeration, the best grape juice popsicle I've ever had. Nothing you can buy in the store compares to it. The flavor of this juice is unmatched. You can taste the sun-ripened, juicy sweetness of the grapes, and these have such a nostalgic taste of summer. I love growing things for my family to eat and enjoy. We're growing so many different grape varieties in our backyard right now, and I can't wait until all of our vines are just as productive as this Thomcord grapevine. Stay tuned for future videos about our grapes, and if you have any questions about growing grapes or different grape varieties that I would recommend growing in Zone 10B, let me know in the comments. And if you're interested in other easy recipes using things you can grow at home in your backyard, here's a playlist I've curated just for you to watch next.